Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing great. My name is George, and this is the daily Sitrep where we need to check what's going on with this Christmas quote unquote break. We had some volatility, we had some things going on. Right now, we have some interesting price action on the chart. So, obviously, we need to see what's going on with that. But before I start, Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. It is good to take some time off from time to time, to relax, to recharge your batteries. And today is still a bank holiday, right? But we are here and we're trying our best to give you some sort of idea about what's going on. On the Bitcoin chart, we will check gold. Gold is very, very interesting to trade at a very, very interesting level. And obviously we will check your EURUSD. Okay, so let's start with this update. Let's check what's going on in the chart. Good morning, good morning. Let's put this to 4K quality because why not? And as far as I can see, everything it's okay with the stream. Okay, so let's start with the Bitcoin chart. So high time frame, nothing much happened. Let's start with our ranges because you all know I love to trade ranges. This is the main trading idea since the price managed to claim the value area low. Remember, the value area low of this range was a bit higher, somewhere in this area, 30K area, then it moved lower. And as you can see, it was claimed, back tested, up we go, right? And taking this into consideration, the next important level to the upside should be the point of control. Point of control, which is around 47,300, give or take. It's a high time frame level. So let's say 47K area. Very, very interesting what we do have on the chart right now. And because we are in a range and because the volume dictates, in my opinion, on this chart and on any other charts, not only in crypto, but in trading world in general, we do have a couple of things to talk about, right? And I would like to pay attention to this, to the high volume nodes that we do have in this range, right? So obviously we do have the point of control here. Like I said, 47K area, and also high volume node up to 49, 50K area. So we do have, let's say, a high volume node from 40, 45, 46 to 50K area. So really, really important area in my opinion. Also, as you can see in this section of the chart, so let's say between 45, 46 down to 39, 40K area, as you can see, this is a gap. So what is telling me that the high volume nodes are always giving a pretty good idea where people or the traders like to get involved in this kind of situation. So when I see something like this, definitely I need to pay attention. So we do have 47K area, and then the next important level taking into consideration the volume within this high time frame range is actually the 40K area, which is we will get there, but this is our current support, right? The 40K area. So this is not random in my opinion. And not only the 40K area, but as you can see, we do have a huge high volume node here, starting around 40K area and down to, let's say, 33K area, right? So this section of the chart was consolidation here, and also consolidation, it was acting as resistance, right? So you see this entire section of the chart, this high volume node was acting as resistance, 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 claimed, price pushing pretty fast to the top of this high volume node, and now the price is trying, at least for the moment, is trying to push higher. So 40K area and the upper part of this high volume node should be important in my opinion. And if the price gets acceptance below this level, below the 40K area, we could see a pretty sharp drop to the next important level. So we do have the 40K area, right? Then we do have this, as you can see, within the high volume node, we have the spike in volume, which is roughly 37,500K area. Then we do have 34, right? Another spike in volume here. And then we do have the bottom of this, roughly around 33K area. Other than that, what do we have? We do have this, another spike in volume, 30K area. And as you can see, this is basically this consolidation and this one and this one, right? And other than that, what do we have? The other next important level to the downside is the value area low, which is roughly 26K area, 26, 25, basically this support area here. So that is to the downside, but also we need to pay attention to the upside, right? We need to pay attention to the upside, because to the upside, if the price managed to claim the point of control and this, the entire high volume node up to 50K area, 49, 50K area, right? If the price manages to actually to claim this high volume node and to flip it to support, then the only thing standing in between the point of control and 47, 50K area and the new high on the chart is this. We do have the value area high. And also, as you can see, I'm not sure if you can actually see this very well, but we do have a high volume node here. So basically starting with 54 to 58, right? So that is the only thing standing in between this one, the point of control, value area high, and then possibly a new higher high on the chart. So high time frame, those are the levels that I would like to pay attention. And I think this high time frame fixed range pull is basically all you need to determine, not necessarily to trade, but to determine the high time frame areas where the price could potentially provide a reaction. And by reaction, I mean, what I'm trying to say by reaction is the price could potentially, that area could potentially act as support or as resistance. So very, very, very important to pay attention to what's going on with this high time frame fixed range pull. So to recap this, 47K area should be the next important level if we take this into consideration. If we take into consideration the point of control, then we do have from 546 to 50K area. This is the high volume node. So this, I would consider this as an area. Then we do have a gap, and the next important area of support, potential support, starts from 40K to down to 40 to 32, 33K area. We do have 30K area, and then the value are low 26, and this entire section of the chart which acted as support in the past 2025. To the upside, if the price managed to claim the 45, 40, 46 to 50K area, then we do have the value area high 55K area and this entire high volume node, and I would extend this from 54 to 58. Other than that, a new higher high on the chart is possible, and we go from there because you never know what's going to happen. But for the moment, we are here and we need to check what's going on. So on a high time frame, I would say this is what we have, and these are the information that I wanted to share with you today. Now, locally speaking, we do have some consolidations, right? So we had this consolidation. Let me see if I still had these ranges. Okay, we had this range breaking to the upside, right? Giving the possibility of another range, right? This one, range to the upside, to the downside, value area high, value area low, point of control, right? And then we do have the possibility of another range. I would like to hide this one and to include this entire section of the chart, starting from the moment the price managed to claim the 40K area and flip it to support. So for the moment, we do have range breaking to the upside, range breaking to the upside, and current range just consolidating. We do have a clear resistance, meaning the value are high, 44K area. We had very nice confluences. We had that daily, which it's kind of the top for the moment, and now the price is just rejecting. Locally, that is a rejection, but overall and on a higher time frame, this is just a range. And let's say for scalps and day trades, this should be the main trading idea. The local range should be the main trading idea, and the way you trade this kind of range and any kind of range, Basically, you trade it from the, let's say, from the lows of the range. If the price gets accepted back into the value area, then the next important level is the point of control, value area high, and possibly top of the range, where obviously you book profits from the longs and you look for shorts. Upon reaction, you check the reaction, and especially if the price starts to get acceptance back into the value area of the range, then we do have the point of control, value area low, and once again the low of the range. And we can repeat this process as many times as possible, as long as the price stays within the same range. And we had a couple of rotations. So we had this to the upside, not full rotation, but then to the downside, now to the upside. And now we need to see if we get a full rotation or a partial rotation to the downside. That is the only question that I do have right now on my mind. If we get the full rotation or the price, maybe the price will stop here, or maybe it'll go to the value area low, or who knows, maybe lower, and this range will break to the downside. But this, for the moment, the uptrend is still intact, is still there, so no real reason for me to be bearish, especially when we do have this to the upside. And not only this, remember, and I will show you again, we do have, starting with 45,500, we do have an entire area between 45,500 and 50k area. We do have a lot of levels, a lot of confluences that could potentially act as resistance, right? So that is the main resistance in my opinion. However, like I said, the uptrend is still intact. However, if we start to see this range breaking to the downside, value area low, lost, then no reaction whatsoever at the lows, maybe this is the top, and then we get, the price will go lower, right? So as a trader, you need to be open to both scenario, the bullish and the bearish one. And really important, you need to have levels to the upside and levels to the downside. That's what, and that way you can actually check the reaction, check what is going on, and then you can make a very, very good trading decision. Now, we do have the ranges. So let's talk about what's going on with these ranges. This one should be like this. Okay, to extend it to the current price action. So levels, right? Before we get into this range on a lower time frame to actually to see what's going on, levels. To the upside, like I said, point of control here, but not only the point of control. If we enable the horizontal levels, we can see that we do have actually a couple of levels that we do have, starting with this monthly. That's why I say 45,500. This is the monthly 45,509. We do have a yearly level, right? 46,195, and obviously a daily level 46,583, and the point of control, right? So starting with 45,500 to, I will extend this to this weekly 50,776. We do have an entire area that could potentially act as resistance. Just to add to everything that's going on the chart right now, just to add this, the big golden pocket pulled from the higher height obviously to this low, to the 15k area, then you do understand that we do have a lot of confluences and a lot of things going on in this section of the chart, right? So we do have levels to the upside. So to the upside, I would say it is the resistance is very, very clear, right? Now let's hide this and let's hide the horizontals, right? Because to the upside, like I said, it's very, very clear, at least in my opinion. If the price will go there, we'll know exactly what to do. We check the reaction, we check on the low time frame the change. If we get, first of all, if we get the rejection, then we check the market structure, then we start to see if some levels are lost, could be previous day levels, could be VWAP, could be some local levels, and then you want to see the continuation to the downside. If no reaction, no reaction whatsoever, then obviously the price could potentially push higher, and who knows where this chart will stop. I'm not here to tell you what the price will do. I'm here to tell you what are the next important levels to the upside and to the downside where you should pay attention. But in my opinion, no one knows what the price will do. And if someone says, hey, I know what the price is going, I'm not sure if that person is into trading, maybe something else. But like I said, I'm not here to tell you where the price will go next. I'm just here to tell you, in my opinion, what are the next important levels to the upside, to the downside, and then you can make your own informed decision, hopefully based on reaction, based on your TA, and let's see what's going on. So to the upside is very clear. Now to the downside, weakness, in my opinion, should be based on breaking this range, obviously to the downside. That would be the first sign of weakness, I would say high time frame, because at that point in time, a local range, and this local range, well, it's like a monthly range will break to the downside, right? So, you know, that would be a sign of weakness. And at that point in time, the next range to the downside becomes important, right? Because in this entire uptrend, and this was a very, very strong uptrend, we do have a couple of areas of support and resistance, right? And those areas usually become very, very important at the back. So we do have, starting with this range, we do have the 30K area, 31, 32, again, high time frame. I wouldn't pay attention to the absolute order, but basically this, the upper part of this range, right? So that would be a very, very important support. Then we talk about this range, right? Where the upper part of this range together with the value high should act as support once again. So if this range will break and the 40K psychological area will break to the downside, the next important level should be, I would say, 38, 37K area, basically the value area high of this range. If the price, if this level will not act as support, then the weakness continues, right? So imagine this breaking to the downside, the price getting acceptance back into the value area of the lower range, and then what do we have to the downside? We do have the point of control, value area low, and the lows of this range. So basically the 33K area. Remember, I showed you the high volume node, right? See how these ranges are fitting into this section of the chart, right? So basically, as you can see, the high volume node stops somewhere in this area. So 33K area, this is what we have. So if this breaks, pay attention to 38, 37K area. So basically the value area high of this. If the price gets acceptance in here, then point of control could potentially give us some reaction, value area low below. So if the price will lose this range, 33K area, then maybe we're this, at that point in time, the possibility for this to be the high is basically is increasing by a lot, right? And then, but no problem, we are traders, right? Remember, you can make money if the price pushes to the upside, if the price pushes to the downside. So we are traders. Doesn't really matter where the price goes, we make money. Then the next important level is the 30K area. And this is where this range comes into play, because same story. This consolidation, the upper side of this range could potentially act as support, providing a very, very, very decent bounce. But if the price gets acceptance back into the value area of this range, then we do have point of control, value area low, and the lows of this range. Also, this range gives very, very nice confluence with the value area low of the high time frame range, right? So very, very important to pay attention to these levels. As you can see, these ranges are very, very well defined. They should provide a reaction, and all we need to do is pay attention, set an alert, check the reaction, and decide if there is a trade for you or not. Remember, if this range will break and the 40K area will not hold as support, then this is sign of weakness, and I wouldn't be in a rush to actually to long here. You need to pay attention to what's going on, and this kind of reaction might not happen very, very fast, in like minutes or even hour. We could see a range forming, we could see some consolidation, and remember, at this point in time, so up to where we are right now, if you're trading longs, you're riding the trend. So obviously that is okay. Obviously, I'm not talking about looking for longs in this area. No, you look for longs where you need to look for longs, somewhere where you have support, somewhere where you have a clean invalidation, and more space for you have space for more upside. But If this range would break and you're still looking for long, which is fine, you need to understand that, like I said, the reaction might not happen very, very fast. There could be a range, there could be a consolidation, right? And you're kind of we start to see a new trend here, because I'm moving from one to another, but we need to do this. So we do have the higher high, we do have a lower low, we do have a lower high, and if the price potentially makes a lower low here, the price is kind of changing the market structure. So if you're looking for longs in this area, which by the way, I will look for longs in this area, that would be the next area to look for longs. If we don't get a swing failure pattern or another bounce in this area, this would be the next area that I'm looking for longs. But at that point in time, I do understand that I'm counter trading at least the local trend, because we get the change in market structure one daily time frame. So those longs will start as a scalp, possible day trade. Maybe I book some profits, I move my stop loss at entry, and I let the rest run. But at least you need to acknowledge the possibility that this, what we have right now, the 44, what was this top? 44,700, this could potentially be the top. I don't have a very, very strong case for this. So I don't have a very, very strong case for this. But I'm willing to take this into consideration, this scenario, right? For this to become bearish, the price needs to break this area to the downside, and then we do have the change in market structure, and then we need to see 37, 38, 37, basically this the value area high of this range, followed by this, and then 30k area, and then 25k area. In terms of, this is in terms of volume. In terms of fib pools, this is what we do have. Obviously we could pull the fibs in many different ways. So we can pull the fibs from here, right? From this last retracement. And that would give us the golden pocket somewhere, exactly the area that I'm looking to trade next, 37, 38, this area, right? So valid confluence, definitely. Like I said, I'm willing to buy this area as long as the reaction is a good one and I start to see change in market structure, I start to see levels claimed, then everything looks good for more upside. Then we could pull this from this one, and this fib pull would give us basically this entire consolidation area, right? So very, very nice confluence. And other than that, if we pull the fibs, we can pull it from here, from the lower low, and it's giving me the 26, 25k area, right? So those are actually the areas, very, 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 very important areas right now. So we do have, let's pay attention to a possible swing failure pattern in the 40k area, right? To go even more in depth, but no, I'll go in depth in a second, but let's pay attention to this, right? Let's see if this range, we talk about still the upper range, so as long as this range continues, I would always favor more upside. If no reaction here, then the next level to the downside should be this one, right? This entire consolidation and the value area high of this range, so basically 37k area. I would put on a table this 30, 33, this section of the chart, right? So let's pay attention. But this entire story, the 30k area, gives me more confidence, right? And if not that one, then we get back to the consolidation. Remember, I still have it, a very, very, very interesting SNR flip level, the 25k area. I apologize for my drawing, is not my strong point, but just to give you an idea about possible support to the downside. So 40k area for a possible swing failure pattern, still within the upper range, and then obviously the uptrend is still intact, the uptrend could continue, and more upside is possible. Break this one, the first sign of weakness, first high time frame range breaking to the downside, change in market structure, And then we do have 37K area support, 33K area, 30K area, 26, 25K area. The more levels we lose to the downside, then the bigger chances for this to be the higher high, at least for the moment, the chances are increasing, right? And the more it goes to the downside, the harder it will be to actually to reverse the trend. So that's why for the bulls, very, very simple would be to hold the price here, to hold the 40K area of support. Below 37, great. I want to see the reaction. 33, I pay attention. 30K psychological area. 30K, remember how much the price struggled with this to actually to claim this area. So it was, they tried once, the bulls tried once, twice, and only the third time they actually managed. So definitely they need to hold this area, because below we do have 20, 26, 25, then 20K area and a new low on the chart, right? So it's always important to pay attention to levels to the upside, levels to the downside, right? So those are the levels that we do have as a possible support right now. As you can see, I'm not using any complicated tool, no, nothing, no. Basically very, very simple range, some fixed range pulls, some fibs, and I didn't even mention the horizontals. Well, if we enable the horizontals, right, we do have a couple of things going on, right? So like I said, to the upside, we do have monthly, yearly, daily, and the entire 45 to 50K area that should be resistance until proven otherwise. To the downside, I will not talk about this section of the chart. I will not talk about this section of the chart because I want to, we will go more in depth like in a second when I'm done with the high time frame. But to the downside, we still have this daily. This is a tap daily, right? But it's still within the 40K area. So a touch of this daily together with a swing failure pattern, right, that should provide a bounce. And I will consider this still within the upper range. So 39,675 tapped, but I still keep it on my chart. Other than that, remember this area, right? So the value area high, this consolidation, and we have two untapped dailies. Obviously, in situation like this, I would consider or give more weight to the lower level, right? Because the lower it goes, the better long trading opportunity. But we do have 2-day level 37,727 and 37,256. Then we move to this section of the chart. Obviously we do have another daily level here, but it's kind of alone. So I'm not sure if this one will give a proper reaction. Maybe for a scalp, why not? Like 0.5% move. No, it is still an untapped daily level 35,723, and then we get back to this section of the chart, right, where I do have point of control, value are low, liquidity, and I will talk about liquidity because we do have very, very interesting stuff going on. And this daily 33,923, this level is still an untapped daily level, and if I zoom in just a bit, you can see how many times this level was front run, and so on and so on, right? Other than that, if this area, like I said, if this area will break, then we get back to this monthly. This is an older monthly, top monthly, but still important. So basically the 30K area. And other than that, we get acceptance back into this this entire section of the chart, where we do have, yes, a lot of weeklies, daily, monthly. So look at this, monthly, weekly, and so on. So definitely we do have the horizontals. They give additional confluences for the area that I showed you earlier. So definitely let's pay attention. Now let's hide this for a second, because I would like to talk about liquidity before I get into the local range that we do have right now. So this entire uptrend, starting from this week to the downside, the 20, sorry, I'm so used to 40 right now that, it is a bit strange to talk about the 20K area, but remember basically we had most of the price action was still in the 20 to 30K area. So apart from this week, which took some of the liquidity, in this uptrend, the liquidity is still intact. because the price created higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, boom, push to the upside. So we do have a lot of liquidity in this area, right? So between 23 and 28, right? Then guess what? Same story we do have in this range. Low and then higher low, higher low. This one kind of, but not really. The liquidity, taking the liquidity, then another higher low, up we go. In this range, right, the price took the local liquidity, here, taking this, but after that, the price started to build liquidity. Higher low, and up we go. So if the price starts to break to the downside, and when this high liquidity area will be tapped, could be the 40K one, could be the entire 33 to 37K area. Remember, this is all a high liquidity area, or this entire section of the chart. There are a lot of liquidity, and by liquidity I mean stop losses. And remember, a stop loss for a long is a short market order. So this, when this liquidity area will be tapped, or if will be tapped, it could trigger a reaction to the opposite direction. And depending on the number of stop losses and depending on how well that area is actually defended, we could see some huge wicks to the downside. Remember what happened here with this? And as soon as this liquidity area and this one was tapped, boom, the price to the downside. And this move was more than 8%. So we do have a lot of liquidity. And like I said, if this liquidity area will be tapped, there could be reaction to the downside, right? Because remember, liquidity, stop losses for a long is a short market order, and vice versa, because the price is also building liquidity here. And I would imagine if this liquidity will be taken and this area is not defended properly, right, with limit orders, with market orders, then we could see a reaction to the upside, because just like in the same way we do have the stop loss for a long is a short market order, the stop loss for a short is a long market order. So that's why these liquidity areas are very, very important, and you need to take them into consideration, especially if when the price, or if the price is taking this liquidity area, if you start to see single prints forming, then you need to step back just a second and let the price action develop and like to get a bigger picture. If you see a buying tail or a selling tail, that's all good. But if you start to see single prints after single prints after single prints forming, that could be a trending day, and the price could potentially move in a trending day. The price could potentially move lower or higher than everyone expects. So we need to pay attention. So to wrap this up, we do have a lot of liquidity. 40K area, this entire section of the chart, basically this entire range, is just the liquidity waiting to be taken, and also this area. If that will be the case or not, I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm paying attention to this kind of situation. Okay, so that would be the high time frame analysis. And now let's get back to what we do have in this area. And for that, let's move to 1 hour time frame. And I would like to see the range, right? This range. And this range should be everything that we need to trade. I would also like to add the horizontals, right? And what happened here? So basically last week, the price took the high, right? The local one, not the high, but took the high swing failure pattern, took the local liquidity, right? Talking about liquidity, followed by this, right? What do you see here? And hopefully your answer will be a change in market structure. I'm checking 1 hour. No, that should be good enough. Not only a swing failure pattern followed by a change in market structure, but also the price starting to lose a couple of levels. And I'm not talking about the local levels, but also the price started to lose this weekly, right? This weekly, as you can see, obviously we do have deviations, but this weekly, as you can see, is our resistance, resistance, this entire section of the chart, resistance here, another, basically yesterday, this push to the downside, push to the upside, and this weekly is still resistance. And I'm talking about the weekly 43,841, right? So this weekly, but not only that weekly, but also the point of control. The point of control was somewhere in this area, right? No, was here, where we do have right now the value area low. The point of control was here of this range, but now the point of control is up here. So if we hide for a second these horizontals, what do we see here? We have a range where the price rejected from the value high, then consolidation around the point of control lost, backtested. So what do you think would be the next important level to a downside? And again, I hope that the answer would be the value area low of this range. So this should be the next important level to the downside. If we get a reaction, yes, no, that for the moment we need to pay attention. We need to see, first of all, if the price will reach this area. Currently the value low is around 41,926, right? So we need to see what's going on here, right? And after that, the next important area is the liquidity, right? So very, very important. Let's see what we have again in terms of horizontal. So we do have this one, and we do have this daily. This is a non-tap daily, 42,291, but it's kind of alone here. It's kind of alone. So let's start to pull some fibs, right? If we pull some fibs, come on, like this. The local fib pull is giving me the value area low, and if I extend it to this one, it's still the value area low and down to the weekly below 41,353. So let's start with this one. So what do we have in between here? Well, what do we have in between is, first of all, this, right? We do have the low printed yesterday for a possible swing failure pattern. So as a trading idea, this could be a swing failure pattern and the price could potentially push higher. Now we need to enable VWAP. So I see VWAP, I see this daily. If we get a swing failure pattern here, the price could potentially push to this daily. As you can see, this is not the case because as you can see that the price keeps pushing to the downside. Unfortunately, the price is not giving me the opportunity to explain, but you see, when you see something like this, definitely you need to pay attention. So this, obviously, this this scenario is invalidated, but this level is still important because yes, the push to the downside, right? And this one could potentially become an SNR flip level. So now the price doing this, great. Unfortunately, I'm not able to trade this move. But now for more upside, you like to see this level claimed. If the price is not able to claim this level, that can be seen as a sign of weakness. Okay, so this daily gave this reaction, right? But now we need to see what's going on. So the next important level, the next important level, if this doesn't hold, is actually the golden pocket, then the value are low. If no reaction whatsoever here, then the next important to the downside is the weekly, and at that point in time we can actually extend this to the downside. And everyone knows I really like this level, 0.71. With that weekly, no reaction whatsoever here, then we do have the lows of this range, a lot of liquidity in this area, and the daily level I was talking about, 39,675, right? So that would be the next level to a downside. Like I said, daily, but it's kind of alone. Then value are low, golden pockets, weekly, and liquidity. And then if no reaction in this area, then we start to talk about the levels that the levels below 37, 38, 33, 30, 25, and game over. Okay, this Okay, now we need to see, because it is interesting to see what's going on here. Previous day low. So now for any kind of bullish scenario, the price needs to claim previous day low. Until that happens, doesn't mean that scalps are not possible here. Scalps are totally possible here, but we need to pay attention to this, and this could be take profit one, or even close the entire trade, right? So this is one level that we need to pay attention. So like I said, this for a swing failure pattern, yes, it's always possible, right? But even as it is, this level is still very, very important, because any kind of bullish scenario, VWAP and this daily should be based on claiming this one. The price is, if the price is not able to claim this one, then more downside is possible, right? In terms of, we have shorts opening here. Okay, some longs, some more shorts, okay. So basically the shorts are in control for the moment. Very, very interesting is what we have here, right? Please allow me to reload this, because I want to make sure I get the correct info. And we do have this kind of situation, right? First of all, I'm not going to talk about this, because this is still a developing day, so this is not valid for the moment. But we have a selling tail. Okay, good, selling tail, all good, no problem there. But then we start to see single print back tested, more downside is possible. Great. Push to the downside, back test of the single print, more downside is possible. So this is, for the moment, this is a trending day, and this trending day is to the downside. As long as you see this single prints forming, back tested, flipped to resistance, single print forming, back tested, flip to resistance, then more downside is possible. And right now I'm going to do one thing, although it's not the most reliable information, but I would like to see. Okay, so we're not. Okay, let's move back to 30. Now my next question is, if this, what we do have right now, this entire section of the chart will be a buying tail, which will be very, very nice, or if this, when the current candle will close, this would give us a single print and a buying tail. So for the moment, we need to pay attention. And like I said, this, let's start what's going on with this chart. Okay, so we do have this and this and this and this and this. Let's measure these moves. Okay, fair enough, they're decent for scalping. But like I said, any kind of bullish scenario should be based on claiming previous day low. As long as the price is below previous day low, then more downside is possible. And we do have levels to the downside, so that is not a problem. Remember, at the end of the day, we're still within this range. If you allow me to hide this and the horizontals, we are still within a range. And after the rejection from the value area high, point of control, consolidation, drop, back tested, rejection, flip to resistance, then the next important level should be value area low, followed by the lows of this range. This is how you trade the range on any chart, any day. So for the moment, obviously this looks like it wants to go lower, right? Because this was the story the entire day. Push to the downside, and another push to the downside. All the important levels are basically the price is below previous day low. The price is creating single prints, and possibly we need to wait until this candle will close. We could potentially see another single print form here together with a buying tail. But as long as this situation continues, single print, back tested, resistance, single print, back tested, resistance, as long as this continues, obviously more downside is possible. And like I said, we do have levels to the downside. Other than that, we need to pay attention. Scalps, you need to be fast with this. Access to order flow is always good for quick scalps, yes, but like I said, for continuation to the upside, the price needs to claim previous day low. Until that happens, more downside is possible. And like I said, the next important levels to the downside are value low, lows of the range, in between, daily, and the weekly. Those are the levels, and let's see how this situation will develop. Right. So that should be Bitcoin on high time frame, on low time frame. There's not much to add, to be totally honest. There is quite a bit of volatility. This is still a bank holiday, so you know it's kind of interesting to see something like this. And let's see where this will finish the move to the downside, or if this is the top, we need to pay attention. Right. Let's see what's going on here. If I have some questions, it is possible to drop from here to and break the 50k low. Anything is possible. So like anything is possible. As I mean, give me this kind of price action. When you see single print flipped, and no reaction at the major levels, like this area, 37, 33, 30k area, 25k area, no reaction whatsoever. And then, yeah, a new low on the chart is possible. I mean, why not? Remember, as a trader, you need scenarios to the upside, to the downside, you need levels, scenarios, bullish, bearish, and you know, anything is possible. So literally, it's like, why not? Do you think 41,400 is an important level? Take a look at Bitcoin altcoin charts. This looks pretty bullish to me. Please post this. What do you mean by this? I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, but maybe you can post a chart in Discord and tag me, and I'll check that, because I'm not sure exactly what you mean by this. Do you think 41,400, 41,400, 41,400? So 41,400, I'm not sure how you get that level, where it comes from. So I do have value low. Value low is always important, and I have the weekly 41,353. So again, chart, show me what that level is, but it's still within this area, so it's basically should be the golden pocket. So, you know, that's always important within this range. Yeah. But other than that, please post charts in Discord, tag me, and then that will be easier for me to Bitcoin 2 is an altcoin. That's something new. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't aware of that, to be totally honest. Bitcoin 2. Okay, fair enough. No, I'm not gonna check that, because I don't take requests, but you can join Discord, and then we can talk about this. Thank you. And let's move forward. Gold. When was that? On Friday. On Friday we had a very, very interesting move, and lately we are slowly moving from what we usually do to trading. I'll put it as clear as I can. So we are switching to pure trading, right? Because you need to put the theory into practice. So basically, almost every day, I think it was every day last week, we have live trading session in the afternoon, starting depending if we have news or something like that. So we do have trading session where we share what we do in real time, with good and bad, with wins and losses and everything, because you need to see what's going on with this chart, to put the theory into practice. And like I said, last Friday we had a very, very, very interesting move on the gold chart, and today it's also this entire area, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is a very, very interesting area in my opinion. And because I've talked about what we do here, obviously we can, so you have in the description, you have the link to our Discord, to our website, to everything. And I'm not sure, but I do think we still have that campaign running where you can get 2 weeks for free, and then you have a 30% discount for the first month. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to check with the staff. Maybe Paul will be able to help me with this one, but I still think that campaign is still ongoing, so you can take advantage of that. And then we can talk about some altcoins, and we can talk about many things. But let's get back to this chart because the time is flying and I kind of want to get involved into trading Bitcoin and also gold. So let's start with gold. Gold, very, very interesting. Slowly but certainly it starts to become my main trading asset. For me, it's kind of strange to say something like this, but it's very, very technical. The volatility is very good. The levels are very well respected, and you don't have problem with liquidity. You don't have problem with slippage or something like that. So that's very, very good. But other than that, let's start with our ranges. Right. So we had this high time frame range, and let's not forget about this triple top. Let's see if I still have this one. Not this one, should be this one, right? The triple top, liquidity taken, and now let's see what's going on. So if we take this one into consideration, basically the price spent some time back into the value area of this range, then the value high was claimed, and then more upside is possible. So as you can see, it's same story over and over and over again on any chart or anything. So learn this, learn how to use the horizontal, learn how to use a fixed range, learn how to use the market structure, and you should define along with risk management and also the psychological side of trading, which is maybe the most important one. And this is why we're doing, maybe not every day, but at least a couple of times a week, we do live trading sessions so you can see everything that's going on, because no one is perfect. You do have a level, but there are emotions involved. Maybe sometimes you feel like, that's a good trade. Maybe sometimes you feel that's not a good trade, and that turns out to be a very good trade, and you miss the trading opportunity. How do you handle that situation? So it's a lot to talk about, but I do think it's better to to see that for yourself. But okay, let's start with this. Let's continue actually. And the price is pushing to the upside, right? To the upside, where, like I said, this is still an important level for me. Not only that one, but also we do have a very, very interesting level there, and that would be this weekly, daily weekly. So that would be 2071, right? 2071. On Friday we had a very, very, very small front run, and that was one of the scenarios that I would give in a live trading session, right? One of the scenarios was small front run of that level, and that is what actually happened. Other than that, in terms of horizontals, what do we have? So we still have this daily, untapped daily, tapped, but still important. I'm keeping this one on my chart, and obviously we do have this weekly level 2004. Let's move just a second on the weekly time frame, right? Because if we move to the weekly time frame, and if we ignore the dailies in between, they are not important, they are very important, but other than that, the price is just consolidating between this weekly, the upper and the lower weekly, and also value area high, and this, the former high, the triple top. So this is very, very important, right? Also, this could be seen as a range. We will get to ranges, but when one of these levels would break, could be this, the weekly claimed on, or this weekly and the value are lost, we will see some follow through. In between, this is a range, and we can trade this range as much as possible, right? And this from weekly to weekly is more than 3% for this chart. That is huge. So that gives us a lot of possibility for scalps, day trades, something like that. But just to have a clear idea about what's going on, we do have a clear resistance, the former high plus this weekly, right? and we do have a clear support, obviously this week to the downside and so on. So now we can talk about this, but from there, value area high claimed pretty fast, and this weekly, this should be our support. Now let's move to what? Let's move to 1 hour time frame, and let's see what do we actually have here. So let's hide the horizontals for a second, and let's continue with our ranges, right? So this is the current range, right? So this range, the main idea for this range is, since the price printed a new high, and this range was to the upside, to the downside, to the upside, to the downside, but I would like, for the moment, I would like to extend this, since the price actually, okay, like this. I would like to extend this range to get even better information. I would like to extend this range to here. All right, so let's see what's going on. Okay, if I pull this range from here, we get this, and if I pull it from, now let's leave it from here, right? So if I pull it like this, let's go once again to 1 hour time frame. Right, so basically this, the main idea for this is the entire price section above the value or high of the high time frame range. So one could see, okay, the price spent some time. This get acceptance back into the value area, resistance, still resistant, value area high, and currently the value area high was claimed, back tested, and up we go. Now, what do we have here? Well, we do have this situation where we do have the golden pocket here. The golden pocket is holding the price down. Remember, if we enable the horizontals, this is the weekly that I was talking about, and the front run for this was 0.05%. Yeah, just enough to make it a bit difficult to trade. And on Friday, some of us missed the short, some of us got the short, you know, so congratulations to everyone that got the short. For those who missed that short, myself included, you know, there's always another trading opportunity. So it is what it is, and there is not much to do about it. Okay, so the price move here, but like I said, you can make money to the upside and you can make money to the downside too. So current resistance, we do have this one. Let's see where we do have VWAP. So VWAP is here. So this is our current resistance. Let's see the other ranges that we do have in this section of the chart. Okay, so that's the lower range. So this one stops here. Let's hide this one and this one for the moment. Okay, and let's see the other range. Okay, so basically on a low time frame range, right, we had this section of the chart where the value high of the bigger range was acting as resistance, also this range resistance claimed, and the entire price action that we do have above is actually, let's extend this to the current price. Actually it is, okay, cool. This is our range, this is our local range, and as you can see, once again, the value area high, point of control, value area low, they're getting the job done, right? So if someone got this long, this should be a take profit 1, you know, take profit 2, depending on your trading plan. Move the stop loss at entry, right? And now this is resistance. At resistance, the only trade that I would take would be a short. Let's see, what do we have? Starting as a scalp to VWAP is decent. And then if we start to lose VWAP, then the price could potentially push to the downside. What's the level that we do have in between? Well, I would imagine there are many levels, but see, this is our golden pocket, right? So we are at resistance. This is not necessarily bearish price action. This is not necessarily bearish price action, but we need to secure profits because you never know what's going to happen next. So for a long from this area, this should be take profit 1, take profit 2, depending on your trading plan. For a short from this section of the chart, VWAP should be take profit 1 and move the stop loss at entry. This, for the moment, this is not bearish price action. This is not bearish price action, right? This is just consolidation. We do have a range. We do have resistance, support, and a point of control in the middle. So this is not bearish price action. So I would favor more upside. And if the price manages to actually to claim the point of control here, there is not much to the value high, the high, some liquidity, and this weekly. And for me, this is the big question. What will happen when or if the price will be able to go to this weekly? So we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention, but now claiming this weekly, if the price manages to claim this weekly, that is really bullish, really bullish, because what do we have in between is this one. So if the weekly will be claimed, right, then the only thing standing in between to a new high is this golden pocket and obviously the other fibos. But this weekly, claiming this weekly, this is some important stuff. Claim this weekly, then the golden pocket, and then the new high on the chart is possible, right? So we need to pay attention to this. We need to pay attention to this. Like I said, this is not bearish price action for the moment. If you're scalping short, you're counter trading the trend. Book profits, move the stop loss. Doesn't mean that we don't have a short. Yes, and the price could drop from here, sure. But just to stay on the safe side, book some profits, move the stop loss at entry. If you get stopped out and you start to see another rejection, take a new short, right? Or if you think this is the top for today and you have the stop loss higher, that's totally different story. And obviously you can manage the position in any way you see fit. But for me, as a scalper, I would say this is not necessarily bearish price action, right? And the price could potentially push higher. Levels, very simple. We do have the local range, value low support, point of control. We do have enough space. So let's say from this area to the point of control, that's 0.5. And from the point of control to the value high and this, we do have another 0.3. So we do have enough space to use the point of control as take profit. Sometimes the point of control can be used as entry, but I would always favor to short value high to long value low, because the invalidation is very close and the possibility for more upside for a long and more downside for a short, if I short the value high, are bigger. So let's see what's going on. But definitely this is an interesting price action, right? NY, I'm not sure NY will be open today. I don't think so, right? So let's pay attention to that. But for the moment, we do have a range, value low, point of control, value high. Very important, this weekly level 2071, this the former high 2075, because like I said, if the price manages to claim this area, we do have the golden pocket, and then we do have a new high possible on the chart, right? And imagine this claimed a trending day to the upside. Let's see how much space do we have from the weekly to this. Okay, that's quite a bit. But in a trending day, you never know what's going to happen. So we could see a very strong push. Levels for support. Level for support, like I say, should be still this weekly, right? This weekly, which is also the value area high of the bigger range. Below this weekly, yes, we do have levels, we do have everything, but it's kind of weakness in my opinion. Also, if we pull the fibs from where it is right now, it's also the golden pocket, right? So other than that, range breaks to the downside, then we get acceptance back into the value area of this range. As you can see here, we do have an SNR flip level, because this one's resistance, flip to support. More upside is possible. Now we need to see what's going on, right? But below, get acceptance into this one, sign of weakness, daily, and most important, the weekly. Some liquidity. We do have some liquidity because starting with this low, then it's higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, still higher low. So we do have liquidity. This liquidity could be potentially taken. And let's see how this day will develop. Not only this day, but the entire week. This should be interesting. Let's see what's going on. Okay, this is important. This is important. And now, okay, so this is just a buying tail, which is okay for the moment, and the price is slowly still, it's moving towards this level, the previous day low, and not only the previous day low, but also this one, right? So you can see if the price actually manages to claim this one, right, that is good for the bulls, and it opens the possibility for higher. But this should be take profit one. If you got this short, 100% this should be take profit one, and we go from here, right? And then we do have levels to the upside, right? Consolidation, push to the upside, previous day low, and so on. But you know, it is what it is for the moment. Let's see what's going on. That this claiming this level should be the first step for more upside. Okay. So this is gold, not too much to add to this. I covered the high time frame, the lower time frame. You know, trade in between, you do have levels to the upside, you do have levels to the downside. You know, scalps, don't forget to book profits, move the stop loss at entry, don't forget about risk management. That's the general rule on any chart. Other than that, you know, it's happy trading, everyone. And if you want to see what we do, obviously join Discord, and you could see some live trading. Let's see if I have some more. Okay, so the holiday promo is still valid, so okay, you can take advantage of that. So like I said, 2 weeks for free, no questions asked. You can cancel your subscription after 2 weeks, so no problem there. And if you decide to spend some more time with us, you get a 30% discount for the first month. So I would think that's a very, very decent offer. Yep. And the last chart that we do have right now on the chart for this stream is EURUSD. Obviously, I start with a high time frame, and here, as you can see, the price is still fighting with this bearish microstructure, like on a high time frame, right? But we need to start with our ranges, right? So our ranges, they look like this, right? So I'm not going to talk about this one because the price is no longer there. But we do have this section of the chart, right? This section of the chart where we do have the bigger range, right? The bigger range. And as you can see here, is pretty much the same story over and over again. So the price spend some time to the downside, get acceptance back into the value area, push to the downside, spend some time above the value are high, then gets acceptance, weakness, point of control. Not necessarily the value are low, but very, very close. Obviously, this is a high time frame pool, and this could change at any point in time because this is a developing range. So maybe that was at that point in time the value area low of this range. Then once again pushes here, spend some time above, get acceptance, point of control, value are low, spend some time below, get acceptance back into the range, and here we had this very, very small front run of the point of control of this high time frame range. And this range started when? In 2014. So this is definitely a high time frame range. I mean, we talk about 9-year range. That is what I call a high time frame range. But the rule about this, it's always the same. And the best trading opportunity comes from deviation from the value are high, or even the lows, or the top, the high from this range. But for the moment, we are interested in this situation. And this range, the local range, again, this local range started in December 2022. So it's basically a yearly range. And what do we have here? Right, so the main idea for this range is the entire price section between the value low and the point of control of the bigger range. And the price is trying, same story, right? So spend some time below, get acceptance, value are high, value are high, value are low, deviation, back into the range, point of control, value are high, some deviation, small front run of the value are low, value are high, point of control, bigger deviation, small front run of this, then get acceptance in here, below point of control, you can see back test, value are low, boom, value are high of the bigger range. And currently what the price did is get acceptance in here, boom, point of control, value are high, some rejection, not necessarily the value are low, right? And now we're back here, right? Just to create some context on this chart and what are the, what are the ranges and what are the most important levels to the upside, to the downside. So currently, as you can see, the price was trying here to claim the value area high, boom, strong rejection, no problem, right? Once again, rejection, but not so strong, right? And currently, push to the upside, the price created a new high on the chart, and as you can see, currently the price is trying to flip the value area high to support. So this could potentially become an SNR flip level. So this was resistance, resistance, and now the price is trying to flip this resistance to support. If that's the case, and as long as the value area high is holding as support, then more upside is possible. What is the next important level to the upside? Well, this high and the point of control of the high time frame range. Very, very simple, and to keep it simple on a high time frame. Also, see if I still have that. No, I don't have it. Additional confluences for this, for the value are high, and I think I mentioned this in the stream before, in the public streams. We had this, the local golden pocket, right? And currently 0.71 was tapped, right? Like I said, I like this level. It is very well respected in crypto, in forex, commodities, stocks, wherever. It is very well respected, so let's take advantage of this. So basically this retracement was for about 0.2, the value are high, 26. Okay, so this is not a strong rejection, and we need to pay attention to what's going on. This one, we will actually, let's put it like this, because if this one will be claimed, the next important level should be between 0.786 and 0.886 to a new high, locally speaking, a new high. So we need to pay attention to this. Okay, let's delete it for the moment, right? And let's enable our let's see the local range. Okay, we'll get back to in just a second to that local range. Now what do we have here? Well, we do have a couple of things, right? So we still have this weekly. Look how clean support was this weekly. This weekly was a tapped one, an older one, but very, very good support. Then we have a new daily here. So, that's good, roughly in the same area. And we do have this older monthly, which was resistance, right? So not only the value high, but monthly resistance, and now check what's going on, the change in behavior. So from resistance to support, at least for the moment. What will happen after that, that's totally different story, but at least for the moment, this is holding as support. This monthly is holding as support. Obviously we still have two dailies, but they are tapped and we need to see, but for scalps and something like that, we can use them. And to the upside, we still have this daily, right? I'm not gonna read it because there's lots of stuff going on. And this weekly, hopefully you will be able to see this on my chart, right? So we do have daily, weekly, and weekly up here, right? So if the price manages to hold this support, then that is bullish. And we do have some levels to the upside, and this, the point of control, should be a major level for this chart, right? Just to put some perspective. Now let's move to lower time frame. And for lower time frame, let's see my range. Okay, so this is the range. Let's hide this. Okay, the fixed ranges, and we still have this range. Let's hide the horizontals too, right? And we have this range, the, let's say, the local range. Technically, I should stop this range. I should stop this range somewhere in this section of the chart, right? Because currently what the price is trying to do is flip, as you can see, the top of this range from resistance to support. And to have something to work with, right, the price is also creating like the local range here, right? Local range, as you can see, already the value low holding as support, value high holding as resistance. Also, if you want to have like more levels, we could always use the fibs like this, and we put the golden pockets. Once again 0.71. Like I said, this level is very well respected, so additional confluence for point of control and value area, high area. And also we could do the same thing for the downside, and it looks something like this, right? So those are the areas. Let's hide this because there's too much going on this chart. So we do have this. Now let's enable the monthly. So I would say like this: as long as this local range continues and this monthly and the value are high is holding as support, then more upside is possible. And we have levels. Sign of weakness comes from this range breaking to the downside, monthly lows, if we get some sort of back test, and then at that point in time we can actually extend this to the current price action. So if the daily would be lost, then we can extend this one, and that would give us another level to work with. Let's hide the horizontals. This, right? If the price will lose the value area high, get acceptance back into the value area of this range, then why not? Point of control, value area low, possibly lower, right? So I would say we do have levels to work with on this chart. Very, very clear levels, right? We do have this monthly. The bulls needs to defend this monthly, as you can see. Boom, claimed, back tested, up we go. Bullish market structure for the moment, so no problem there. We do have a local range with the value area high, value area low, and this, this is very, very good, very well respected. And other than that, let's see what this day will bring. I gave you the most important levels to the upside, levels to the downside. So, let's see how this will, how this situation will develop. Very, very interesting. Good. Have a local range. We do have a clear level. As long as the price is above support, below SNR flip level, and it opens the possibility for more downside. So yeah, let's pay attention to this chart, and let's see what this day and the rest of the week, what we have left from this year will bring. Okay, so no more questions here. So technically that should be all for this trade. Like I said, book, take profit one here. Don't be, yes, the price could be higher, but if you got this long, take profit one, move the stop loss at entry, and let's see what's going on. That would be my advice. Not financial advice, but this is the way I would handle this kind of trade. Yes, this opens the possibility for higher, great, but you need to see that actually happening on the chart. Until that happens, this was, let's say you got this from here to here, you made 0.6, put some money in your pocket, move the stop loss at entry to reduce the risk, and let's see what's going on with this chart. Yeah, so that would be all for this update. We do have levels on all the charts, levels to the upside, levels to the downside. Maybe we'll see some volatility, maybe not. If I check the news events, this is 3rd of January. Okay, so let's pay attention, but nothing this week. And still we do have volatility, which is okay, because we can trade. If we are in front of the charts, volatility is always good. Okay, so that would be all for this stream. Again, if you like our content, please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and we still have that campaign still ongoing, very good. I would say, take advantage. 2-3 weeks, I mean, why not? And yeah, other than that, I wish you all a great weekend ahead. Happy New Year, because I will not streaming this on a public live stream. So yeah, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you next week and next year. Until then, thank you for everything. Cheers and bye bye.